Hey there, classmates. This is Ashley Black, and today I'm going to talk about constructivism learning theory. So, what is constructivism? Constructivism is an active constructive process in which learners construct their own meaning based on prior knowledge and experience. So, this is basically saying that knowledge is constructed rather than being innate or something that's passively absorbed. There are sort of two key researchers in this area named Jean Piaget and Lev Vygotsky. And they each coined two different types of constructivism. So I'll share with you a little bit about those. The first is Jean Piaget. He was a researcher that noted that children's play had a very important role in the learning process. He also said that we learn through assimilation and accommodation. Assimilation is when you incorporate new experiences into the old ones, whereas accommodation is when you reframe or modify your existing experiences to incorporate new ones. He also coined the term cognitive constructivism. Cognitive constructivism states that knowledge is something that is actively constructed by learners based on their existing cognitive structures. Therefore, learning is relative to their stage of cognitive development. Cognitive teaching methods aim to assist students in assimilating new information to existing knowledge and enabling them to make appropriate modifications to their existing intellectual framework to accommodate that information. The second researcher was Lev Vygotsky, and he coined the term social constructivism. He believed that knowledge is first constructed in a social context, and it is constructed when you collaborate with others or when you collaborate with peers or in groups. He thought that learners should discover their own truths about the world, and he also said that instructors and learners are equally involved in the learning process. So when thinking about how we might link theory to practice, we could talk a little bit about what a constructivist learning environment might look like and how we might actually incorporate that into maybe even an online learning environment. So here I have listed several different examples of how you might incorporate that. They include experimentation. So a great example of this would be in our class, we had to explore lots of different learning technologies, and one of them I explored was articulate rise, and I experimented with the tool. The next would be projects, something else we've done in this class. We're going to be doing our final group projects here shortly. Case studies is another great way to sort of show that application piece. Discussions, we obviously do this a lot in this course with our discussion boards. Simulations are a great way to do a sort of simulated environment, including multimedia is another one. And then, as noted earlier, collaboration with peers is another great example of how to incorporate a constructivist theory into the classroom. And lastly, reflection. Reflection is always important in understanding, for learners to sort of understand how they might apply new information going forward. There are a few limitations of constructivism. The main ones being it's very difficult to measure due to different learning styles and learner differences. It can also be very time consuming and costly to adapt your learning and teaching to each individual learner. I actually found this cartoon. I thought this would be is sort of a funny example. Class, all year long, I've taught each of you to learn at your own pace and your own personal style. I've set goals for each of you individually to help you reach your own unique potential. And now the results of that will be measured with a standardized test. So here you can see we have a long way to go in terms of figuring out how we might adapt our existing education system to be sort of better for the learner. And that's it. Thank you.